Well, happy Father's Day. I'm with my team. Going to get my iMac, which has just been fixed. But first off, we're going to get some barbecue for Father's Day. Go down in the lift, go down in the stairs. Hi, welcome to today's vlog. Today's a very, very special vlog. Today is Father's Day, and I wanted to talk about being a dad and kind of my dad as well. It was a little bit struck. I started watching last night. I realised the desk is a tip today. That's one thing I maybe picked up from my dad. I don't know. He probably wouldn't like me saying that. But I watched last night the dads. Well, I started watching the dads programme because being a dad and being a single dad meant that I didn't have time to be able to get to the end of it before I was interrupted by my kids needing me to do something, wash and dry their hair and all those kind of things. And so, yeah, I really wanted to talk about being a dad. And going back 11 years ago, and in fact 11 years ago this week, I took some time off, well, a day off, and I went down to Belfast Lough, which is obviously an island, Northern Ireland, and I sat down on a stone out into a little bit of the sea with a book, with a notepad, and tried to figure out what I was supposed to be a dad, because I was going to be a dad within the next month at that point. Kay was pregnant with Amy, and yeah, I didn't know what being a dad was going to be like. To be honest, I was 28 and I was scared. And I know, you know, people like Casey Neistat were dads at 17, and gosh, wow, that must be incredibly scary, because I was 28, married. Okay, I was living in a strange place, strange country, but I really didn't know what I was supposed to be as a dad. And to be honest, 11 years later, or coming up to 11 years later, I'm still figuring out what it means to be a dad. And to be the dad of a teenage girl coming up soon scares the living daylights out of me. But the main things I've learnt from my dad are to set an example, to be there for your kids. This last 18 months to 2 years for me has been a really, really difficult time. And one of the things I wrote in my book 11 years ago, when things seemed to be pretty hunky-dory, was that I knew if there was a crisis in my life, my dad would be there for me. And in the last year particularly, there have been a number of crises, and my dad was there. When it was rock bottom last summer, the person on the end of the phone was my dad. Not being emotional, not being even overly practical, just I'm on my way. And he came. I'm with my mum, but he came and he was there to offer me support. And I think as a dad, that's the one big thing I'm going to learn from my dad, is to be there for your kids. And my dad, when I look back now over the years, was there. He was at all my concerts and my gigs, my early doors. He was there for some of my less flattering sporting occasions. In fact, I often relate to people that my dad, when I was about 14, sat me down and said to me, look, son, you're not going to be a professional cricketer or footballer. You might be a professional musician, though, if you put some hours in and put some practice in. I still would have been a professional footballer or cricketer if I'd had the chance, especially a professional cricketer, but I wasn't good enough to do that. Some people might not think I'm good enough to be a professional musician, but I've been doing it now for 20 years, so I must be doing something right. But reflecting on being a dad, and kind of made me think this afternoon, just as I was going around with the kids and we just sat in the pool, It's a little bit like being a jazz musician in that you have a lead sheet, okay, although you shouldn't really always use the lead sheets in jazz, but as a father you've got a lead sheet, and it's kind of a little bit of a roadmap of kind of how you should do it. It's kind of experiences of your own father, experiences from dads that you know, that you've been friends with, maybe even celebrity dads, or we call them influencer dads now. And maybe within your religious context, there's maybe examples of fathers, and maybe there are bad examples of fathers in there as well. But you have these kind of things, and these are like your lead sheets. And, you know, there's chord changes on your lead sheet that other people will argue are right and argue are wrong. And maybe there are more advanced ideas on your lead sheet from what you could be to be a dad. But ultimately, it's up to you how you interpret it. There are some good ideas and some good places to follow, and that you should follow the melody, but you might interpret it in slightly different ways each time you do it. But you go for it, and you love your kids, and you do the best that you can, and that's all you can do. And you know, time and time again, as I've said in the last vlog about getting things done, you know, when it comes to being a dad, I'm learning every single day that I know less and less, and I just have to do the best I can, listen to my kids, encourage them, and try and be there for them. Oh. What are you reading?
Elizabeth.
Oh.
Wow. 2 minutes. That video? I was expecting it to be... You're allowed that because the person who it's on
Mind?
channel gets it.
Right, so it's on Amy's channel, is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, so can you look into the camera?
Doesn't matter, I can just do it automatically by pressing a button.
Alright. Right, you're both on screen?
Yeah.
Right, what's... Sound levels hit 90 decibels. Around 30 minutes at this level can cause temporary hearing loss. So what has been the best thing about today? Nothing. You forgot all of
Going
that.
out to Cambridge.
Yeah? What, the chips? Barbecue
Probably
food.
the corn on the cob that we had.
Yeah?
No, getting the ice cream.
Oh, was
That
that the best?
wasn't really my favourite because I didn't get one.
Yeah?
So I'd probably say it was getting the corn on the cob.
Cool. Do you want to plug your channel or mine? What's your channel called?
Game Boy Lips.
What's your channel called?
Girl Gamer Amy.
And what's your kind of fan club called?
Starry.
Starry Army. So if people want to be in the Starry Army, they need to subscribe as well, do they?
Yeah, and they have to join my Roblox.
Oh, so they have to play Roblox, do they? So what we do on this vlog is we say thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to check out my last vlog here. This is what I was up to this time last year. Thank you very much for watching. Ready to say goodbye? Bye!